What is up, riders, and welcome back to our channel. Again, we're working on this BWS 100. We will be doing the top end, the carb, and the reed block. So stick around and check out what we're gonna do. So in the previous video, we installed all of these parts. If you want to check that out, you can check it out in links down below or then pop up above. That's the build where we did the full drive, the primary gears, the CVT, everything, get the scooter to its optimal. So what we're going to be doing now is obviously the top end, the reed block, and the carb. So I want to unbox that now, so let's do that. Cool, first things first, we've got the Malossi barrel. This is a 124cc, technically. We've also done many of these before. So if you want to check out those videos, you can check out the ones popped up in the top right. This beautiful barrel, air-cooled Malossi. Check out the ports. There's a set of rings in here. Obviously got the piston, the other ring, and it comes with your gaskets, exhaust gaskets, head and base gaskets, and it comes with the reed petals. The thing about this is for your stock reed block. We however have a reed block that we'll be putting in, which I'll show you now, so we won't be using these. And then of course it comes with your gudgeon pin and circlips. So here's the reed block. This is the VL14, there we go, for the Minerelli motors. So here it is. A lot of people think that this part over here is a restrictor. It's actually not a restrictor. It acts as a venturi, and if you know what a venturi is, it basically is a suction. So what this actually allows for it to do is it actually funnels the air faster through these petals as they open and close here, like that. So you do want to run this, do not take this out. This helps the flow better, despite it being a smaller opening. It's almost chamfered in a way to accept the airflow in a better way. Also, one of the best mods to do if you're ever going to do something on the top end and in the drive, I'd recommend a multivar and one of these. The reed block gives you great performance and it's pretty easy to swap out. And then lastly, we've got this awesome Delorrtto or Malossi Delorrtto PWVB 22mm Carb. So it's like that. So here it is. It comes with the manifold and your manual choke. So you're gonna have to convert from an auto choke to a manual, which isn't that much of a problem. It also does have capability for auto lube. Pretty straightforward swappable carb. Not much setup required on these. 22mm, I know a lot of you guys always want to do 28mm, 24mm. For our climate by the coast, 22mm is more than enough for the BWS 100. Works well at the coast or at higher altitudes. You can get away with like a 24 at higher altitudes, but this is just perfect for all-round reliable use. Obviously there's your manifold. So as you can see here, for your reed block, you see that diameter. So if you have a massive hole, it's just going to lose a lot of that efficiency. Right, we're going to be pulling off this carb now. So first the throttle cable comes off, and this is the Mikuni 16.5mm carb, stock carb. Nothing wrong with it, but the 22 is obviously going to be much bigger and better. Next up, the plug. We're first going to check how that burns. Not too bad actually. This is a BP7 HS, so we're going to run a BP8. That's just going to be a bit cooler. You don't want it to be too hot. There's the cast iron barrel and aluminium cast cylinder head. So we're going to take off the head first. This is a stock head. We are going to reuse this. Malossi don't make a performance head anymore, but this is perfect. You can have it machined, but we're going to just use the stock one. Off comes this awesome CRP pipe. Move that out the way. Take off the manifold to expose the reed block. You can see there the difference between the Malossi and the stock manifold. This is the old reed block. You can obviously change the pedals, but the Malossi VL14 is the way to go if you want that boost in performance. There again is that opening that matches the manifold better. That's going to give you that venturi into the engine and give you more fuel air mixture. Next up, we're taking off the barrel. Just going to slide this off nicely. We're not going to reuse that, and obviously the piston, so take that off. Moving on to the Malossi piston. This is a 56mm piston versus the standard 52.5. So we're just going to prep everything, make sure our circlips are in, the gudgeon pin and everything is oiled. The rings you can put on any direction. These are not tapered or anything and don't have to go in a certain order, so you can put those on. Make sure you lube up everything. We don't want this thing to seize when we're starting it. Make sure you're very generous with all the oil on the barrel and the piston. Installing the piston, we've got to just put in the gudgeon pin and the new roller bearing. Everything's looking all good, so we're going to put on the circlip. Don't forget the circlip. That could be a really bad day if that falls out. On with the new Malossi barrel, 124cc if you want to be correct. And then we're going to be putting on the new gasket for the head. This is the gaskets that come with the kit. And again, the original cylinder head, not machined. You can machine it, but it's not really necessary. Make sure you torque it down in a cross pattern. Always go back to the beginning to make sure everything is sorted. And there you have it.
Okay guys, I'm going to show you that trick with regards to adding the extra cooling and efficiency on the cylinder head. If you want to see that, check the pop-up above.
Like my dad said, you can check it out in the other videos popped up above. But what we're going to basically be doing is just cutting off this piece of plastic to allow more airflow over the cylinder head. The cylinder head gets shrouded and airflow can't flow properly throughout the whole thing. You're going to see right now as we look at my dad installing this over the cylinder head is now we've got proper airflow throughout and those fins aren't blocked. Next up, you want to route this oil pipe into the shroud. A lot of people forget it and it gets pinched, and that's not a good thing. So make sure it's all good. Spark plug, we're doing a BP8HS. This is going to be a cooler plug. It's much better to run with the exhaust pipe. We're also going to be using a TB05 EM waterproof plug cap. Onto the carb, we just want to check if everything's all right inside. So we're going to open up the float bowl and check what jet is in there. That's a 78, so that's all good. We're going to leave it as is. Checking out the throttle cable. Going to pull everything apart here just to make sure everything's all set correctly. Going to pull out the pin. You're going to see that it's on its second lowest setting, so it comes like that from the factory. We're going to leave it as is. Next up, we're going to just do the choke. This is a manual choke. We're going from manual to automatic, so that's your choke complete. Installing the new throttle cable, checking if it works, no stickiness, all good. Gonna install it now, just wedge it on there. And there's your carb. And last but not least, we just gotta route the choke. Sweet. Choke is on. That's full choke, half choke, off. So we're just gonna put it back together and take it for a spin. One last thing we got to do is obviously air filter. You can see this is completely poked. We're gonna put in a new OEM one. Yamaha, there's your number. So this is a stock air filter. We're keeping the stock air box. It's just gonna run much better, much easier. Along with that, we've got this insert here that comes with the carburetor, and we're gonna have to drill a hole in the airbox just for some extra airflow. That's all according to the diagrams. So we've got to insert that right there for optimal. There's about a 10 mil, so we're gonna drill a hole in the plastic, insert that, just press fit, and then put everything back together. Okay, the airbox is on. One thing with these is obviously it's a stock airbox and a bigger carb is just a lot of patience and persuasion. So it does fit. Do not cut them. Do not do anything crazy. What you can do is just heat them up, slot it over. Like I said, a lot of persuasion, but it will eventually fit. So don't ever cut those. They fit over nicely. All right, well, we're gonna start up now. Check if everything's running. Dial it in with the carb and then put it all together and hopefully take it for a spin. So let's do that. All right, first start up, we see how many swings it's going to take. Let's check. Pretty good. Maybe just adjust the idling a little bit. very crispy. No flat spots anymore. I think she's dialed in. Obviously you can go definitely stiffer with the clutch springs, you can do jetting, you can do a lot, but I mean, for what this is, it's feeling pretty solid. Let's at least give you a little 0 to 60. Like I said, the clutch hasn't even bedded in, nothing's bedded in, you know. So remember, these aren't that accurate, but let's do a little bit of a 0 to 60. I think that's much quicker. I mean, self-explanatory. Feels really good. I mean, just listen to that. Oh, those straight cut gears. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I mean, yeah, it's like a jet fighter. It's like a race car. It's like a Group 3 car. It's insane. With the CRP, I mean, the CRP is just, oh, just one thing. Very good. It's very hard to hear the straight track gears, but I can actually hear it. It's a lot of pull. I mean, you can hear it, it's insane. Solid build. What a great build. I mean, listen to it. Oh, it sounds so good.
Alright guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe. All the parts of this Bee Wizz will be in the description down below. This beast was quite an awesome little build, similar to Clayton's one. But if you want to check that out, that will also be linked down below for that whole playlist. We also have a Patreon now if you want to support us and we can build some awesome scooters like this one. So again, thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate you. We'll check you in the next one. Peace.